So good evening everyone, and now we have reached the lesson 14, which is the Philippine pop culture and experience economy. So by the way, I am Jone Basilan. I am from BSED2C. So before we are going to discuss the lesson 14, let us have the objective first. So first, determine the factors that comprise Filipino ingenuity and originality contributing to the cultural development of the nation. The second, identify some points of cultural sensitivity from the article presented. And third, give the list of the passages in context with the Philippine popular culture. Right? So first that we are going to discuss is affect senses and feelings. That is explained and written by Jone Den. Right? So the language of victimizations in the face of bloggers inflicting their boring lives, their obsessive lives, their sex lives, their pet lives on the rest of us differs from the criticism of rabid political bloggers or snarky celebrity bloggers all working around the clock to attack their specific targets and generally amplify and intensify the circuits of communicative capitalism. So that is example that in the surroundings, every individual has seen something or somebody. Alright, so that individual will be formed and the feelings will be made. So that feelings affects the lives, everyday life of that specific person. So next, we have a body. So the body is explained and written by Balsi Nerissa. Right, so the Filipinas breast, savagery, docility, and the erotics of the American Empire. So in colonial documents, savage breasts were signs of conquest. From accounts of European explorers such as Columbus and Magellan to 19th century maps of the Pacific drawn by American cartographers to American postcards featuring Native American women. So the bare brown bosoms of indigenous women were makers of savagery, colonial desire, and a justification for Western imperial rule. So, in the document of the colonial, this means that a savage breast were means that a signs of conquest. Right? So next we have the musica piece. So when it is explained and written by Tajer Neferti. So taking an innovative post-colonial feminist perspectives on transformations in the Philippine nations in the context of globalizations, fantasy production provides a nationalist and post-colonial capitalist logic shaping the actions of the Philippines as a nation state. So, it produces a fantasy production. So, when you say fantasy production, then it refers to musica space. Right? So, next we have time. So, this is explained and written by Jonathan Crary. So Jonathan Crary is 24/7. So late capitalism and the ends of sleep is assured. So sharp polemic against the dehumanizing conditions of neoliberalism, the non-stop marketplace, and the concomitant demands for constant productivity and attentiveness. So Crary, a professor of art history and a distinguished cultural theorist, reflects on the ways that these conditions are reshaping notions of temporality, intensifying the management and surveillance of individual subjectivities, and undercutting the possibility for decent and political expression. So this is the content and context of the Jonathan Crary's 24/7. So right? So next we have the technology. So the cell phone and the crowd. So this is the relation between the cell phone and the crowd. So messianic politics in the contemporary Philippines, right? So this is explores that the role of cell phones and the practice of teaching within the context of the civilian backup that overthrew President Joseph Estrada in January of 2001. So popularly known as People Power 2. So it focuses in particular on a set of political fantasies among the Filipino middle class, so including their belief in the power of communication technologies to transfer messages and the distance of their ability to possess that power. So even though that it take a distance from its individual, so that power of information will be sent to others. So that is the power of technology. So next we have globalization. So this is written by Benvenido Lombera. So actually there is a book written in this category which is entitled Mula Torre Patungong Palengke. So it defines by Lombera that ang aklat na ito ay pinamatgon na nina Benvenido Lombera, Ramon Guillermo, and Arnold Alamon, right? So this state na tungkulin ng lahat ng progresibong guro at mag-aral ang pagpapalaganap ng makabayan, siyentipiko at makamasang edukasyon sa loob at labas ng mga formal na institusyon pang education. So in the process of studying education, there should be included being makabayan or patriotism should be included, scientific explanation should be included, and the what we call the public education should be offered. Alright, so that is in globalization. Next, we have the identities and pop culture. So this is written by Rolando Tolentino. So popular culture and pleasure media class, right? So education is different from popular culture. It is very informal knowledge generated by media such as television, radio, movies, DVD, cell phone, internet, video, okay, cable, and etc. Or media tools which is mall, coffee shops, shawarma, and etc. Right? So in fact, any artifact of popular culture has a shelf life. It is only famous for the current fad, even though there is always media and genre revealing but there is no shortage of new trends and with the adaptations of the new, right? So it means that even though that there is technology that could be the medium to preserve a culture, so it is still open for the new trends, and it is still open, everyone is still open to adaptations of the new. So that is the popular culture in the Philippines and the experience of economy topic, right? So that is the end of my discussion. Thank you for listening, and me, the God guide you. God bless all of us.